Alright, so I spoke out about how the medical community treats the homeless. And this was before Natalie died. I spoke out about how the police treat the homeless. I did that before Natalie died. I spoke out about how people treat folks who are autistic. I did that before Natalie died. After Natalie died, when I was assaulted by Officer Waylon Lolatai, I told the whole world. And guess what? People didn't care enough to actually come forward and help me with what I needed. Oh, it's fine. He'll deal with it himself. No, I can't. And you guys go, oh, well, you say you can't, that's why it's not happening. No, I still try. Whereas you guys, you just make excuses not to. That's the problem I had with Miss Peaches. What the hell? Little baggie. When I spoke out about Waylon Lolatai, nobody did anything. And Waylon Lolatai harmed many more people. And was on the news for it. Clearview, I spoke out about what they did to me. And guess what? They're getting closed down because I'm not the only person they did it to. But you pretend like it's okay to do to me. Meanwhile, it's not okay to do to these other people, is it? Of course not. It's not okay to do these things to anyone. The police not doing their jobs put me at risk, put my life at risk, and put my friends and family at risk. And I do wholeheartedly believe that the only thing keeping these bastards from going after my family is the fact that I've been so loud. Incredibly loud. If something happens to one of my loved ones, whether they hate me now or not, makes no difference. There's a list of perpetrators, and they're easy to locate. I spoke out about the child trafficking and the human trafficking here in the United States. Spoke out about how Child Protective Services was involved, among other things. I spoke out about how most of the child pornography in the United States comes from foster homes. Between 65 and 85% of it comes from foster homes and group homes. And it's not just girls that go through this, boys as well. Boys go through this as well. But when it's a boy, he's supposed to just man up. He's supposed to just take it. He's not supposed to say anything. Well, I got to the point that I couldn't just say nothing. I couldn't just do nothing. I spent most of my adult life trying to get people to listen. People who had never been in that situation. Trying to get people who have never been homeless, who make excuses why the homeless deserve all the bad things that happen to them. That's tough. It's tough to explain to a dad who's always had women take care of him what it's like to be on your own out there on the streets. And really, when I was out there in Boulder on the streets, I wasn't alone. I had Miss Bobby at the Starbucks to keep me safe. And a lot of other Starbucks employees. The fact is, no matter what, I'm never going to be allowed an honest day in court. Which means I'll never get my money back. It also means that I'll never get to see my loved ones without having to get threatened or assaulted, because you know what? No matter how many of you tell me, hey Sean, people forgot about it, you should just let it go. Really? Really? Because if I go back to Chapel, Nebraska today, I already know what I'll have to deal with. If I go back to Boulder, Colorado today, I already know what I'll have to deal with. A bunch of people who didn't let it go over things they weren't there for and were never allowed to see the truth of. All that slander, it results in people being harmed. It destroys people's entire lives. And instead of learning about autism, learning about sensory processing issues. It's because I'm overwhelmed. And I'm overwhelmed because I'm smarter than you. Oh, if you were so smart, you wouldn't get overwhelmed. Really? I have to try to remember all of the details